Hey everyone, we're the Odd Men Out. That's not how you do it.
And also,
it's hard, isn't it?
Also, look at the camera.
No, the hard part is that we have a script now, and we didn't before, and I can say whatever I wanted before.
I have our work script memorized.
You gotta look at the camera too.
Hey everyone, welcome to the All Chat Gaming Podcast. We're the Odd Men Out. My name is Keithan.
I'm Tanner.
I'm Ryan.
And I'm Nick.
And today we have a lot of gaming news and a main topic like normal, so we're actually going to have a shorter than usual, just talk about what we've been playing. We'll start with me this time instead of Nick, switching it up a little bit. So this week I played some more Metal Gear Solid, because it's always fun, and it's a great game, and Ryan, you really need to play more of it.
I know, I actually haven't played it since that first.
I know, you really do. It gets so good. As well, I played some League of Legends, which I'll talk about a little bit later with the gaming news as well. Sea of Thieves with Brian, and he'll talk a little more about that. And then we also played a Rocket League, where it was us two versus one of our coworkers. And boy, did we suck. He beat us 11-1.
It was bad.
He plays a lot, and I never play. I almost never play at all, so
I play
I'm terrible.
2 games a week.
Which is way more than I play. But he plays a lot of it. So yeah, he destroyed us. And more than that, I haven't really played too much. So that's the majority of my gameplay.
Okay. As for me, I didn't play much. I played Overwatch and Heroes of the Storm. Mostly Overwatch for the seasonal events. There's a new one every day. And so you have to play that one that day, or else you don't get to play it for like another 5 days. So I've just been taking advantage of every one of them, and my wife likes to play them too. So a lot of Overwatch and a little bit of Heroes of the Storm. This last day was Memorial Day, and so that morning I played a lot of Heroes of the Storm with Ryan, and it was awful. Like, me and him played well. I mean, we talk about MOBAs, it's the team's fault. I mean, I don't even know if it was our team's fault. We would start out great. Each game start out fine. And then for some reason, the other team would just get like a boost and just take the game over. When we were up like 10 or 15 kills at one point. Mm-hmm. And we were only going to play like 2 games. We ended up playing like 5 because we didn't want to end on a loss. And we eventually did get one. It was kind of close. I mean, we were dominating, then it kind of got close, and then we pulled it out. So that's what we did.
We also did Uprising on hard.
Yeah.
But I'm actually a good Mercy, so...
And it was all characters, all heroes this time. You couldn't beat that.
Did you win?
We did.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, because I'm a good Mercy, and I don't run in guns blazing.
Yeah, he knows how to click left mouse button.
Yep.
Yeah.
I clicked it hard.
Good job.
Except for there was one time where I was like, mostly to see if Tanner would notice and start yelling at me. I ran in front of one of the robots and started beating it with her stick.
It's the melee attack for him.
Okay.
And it does like half damage.
It does like no damage. But so I was just like, there was a robot that has a shield, and I walked up to it, and I'm just like, hugga, hugga.
And I needed healing.
I needed healing. I just kept on whacking it.
Anyway, fun stuff.
Ryan does like to talk about sticks and whacking it. So what have you been playing, Ryan?
So I played a lot of Overwatch this week.
As Mercy.
Not as Mercy. As Reaper, actually, for the competitive deathmatch. I won 6 out of 10 of my placements, got placed in the gold, and have literally lost every game since I got placed.
Wow. Okay, is it your fault though?
Yeah.
No,
okay.
I would say at this point it's Blizzard's. They just don't want you to be gold in anything.
No, that's true. Because I'm almost silver again, actually. I'm like just on the fence for gold right now. I'm like, I got placed at like 2,300 something. And that's I'm like 2,000 already.
That's free for all, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like we could be on a team.
No,
and I can help you stay
in gold.
in
It's not like
gold.
I can blame other people either. It's all me.
Oh man,
it's all me. So
Understandable.
The Sea of Thieves was really fun. Playing that new update with Keithan. It was just us two we started at first, and then we, on our way to selling some of our items that we got from a sunken ship, we ran into a group of other 2 people that were actually on a galleon for some reason. Did they start?
I don't know how they managed that. They said something about like a private thing. I don't know how they did it.
Oh yeah, because like you can choose now. I think you can have a crew of 2 on a galleon.
Yeah. Okay.
But so yeah, we found them, and then we just gathered people as we were completing some of the quests that we needed to do to actually face the megalodon. And then by the time we got there was about 6 of us. And then when we halfway through the fight, we had another galleon join us. There was like at least 9 to 10 people.
And it was also really cool because this is like the first time I've ever seen like team up being a viable option in Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, people actually teaming up and not killing each other.
And it was fun. We just had like a good casual conversation. It was fun. We were all working together against this huge shark that would just hit your boat, take chunks out of it, could knock you in the water.
When I made this
Sunk our
it
ship.
would make this ship spin too.
Okay,
Yeah.
that sounds fun. Everything else with Sea of Thieves sounded boring, but that sounds fun.
And right before we started it, of course, a storm hit.
Oh yeah.
And Ryan and I weren't really prepared. So the galleon, those other 2 guys, they were super prepared, over-prepared. They had like over 100 cannons, over 100 bananas, over 100 planks, which you have to really work to get all that. We started with the basics, and we used like a third of our resources to survive the storm.
Yeah.
And then once we got bit a couple times by the shark right in a row, we were just like on barely fixing it, and then we got hit again, and we had to abandon ship. But we did end up winning.
Yeah.
And it was really fun. We want to try it again, maybe with a smaller crew, so it's a little bit more challenging.
Yeah, because with as many ships as there were, it gave the shark a lot of options, and so it didn't usually hit one ship several times in a row. Like we were just super unlucky at that point. But
the first half of the fight, we didn't even get hit.
Yeah, but like so, for the most of the fight, the shark was hitting the galleon. But then when we got taken out, then it still had to choose between 2 different ships.
3 at that point.
Oh yeah, 3 because there was another sloop. Yeah, but no, it was really fun. Keith and I were talking about how it's good that we didn't, because we were thinking about just taking out that galleon at the outpost, or trying to take it out,
trying to steal it.
But then they hailed us pretty much and said, "Hey, we're peaceful. Don't kill us."
When you talk to people on Sea of Thieves, is it over mic?
Mm-hmm.
So the way that they added like a new item in where you can hail people from longer distances, and you can do like the in-game chat, and then they just added us to their party. So then it was just like you would be talking to anyone in a party.
Okay.
So we were all just in one big party. Because there is the proximity chat, but I mean that's only a viable option if you're always right next to each other. So we just added each other. So it was just like a back and forth conversation. One of the guys is from Australia, so it was just like a really cool thing to just have like that coming together. So that was.
I was streaming Minecraft once, and this guy from Denmark was watching the stream with me and my wife, and we just started playing together.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's
brings
cool
people together.
Internet games
Breaks down.
No violence.
barriers.
They bring people together.
They really do. They really do, though.
Brings us together so we can all chat about it. Get it? It's the name of our podcast.
Nick, what have you been playing, Nick?
Oh, but I did play Final Fantasy 13 too as well. That was the other game I played. I was having some issues with it earlier, just because
Because you're bad at it.
No, I wasn't having issues with the game. It's with the gameplay. It was the Final Fantasy ports aren't always the best, and so. But whenever I'm playing by myself, I always have issues. But whenever Nick walks in the room, the game starts working again.
It's because I built your computer. It knows me. It understands me.
Are you gonna?
It's my child.
Are you ever gonna chain him up and just keep him in the room?
Yeah, I'm
Be like, Nick, I'm sorry, I have to beat this boss.
Not again.
I'm gonna have to if I
How
want to
often
beat
does
that
it
game.
happen?
Oh man, you wouldn't even know. Just kidding.
Before this got in a weird
Just kidding.
Is
Moving
it like
on.
in his closet or like in his bed?
Anyway, so what I've played this week, I haven't been playing a lot because I'm sick, if you couldn't tell. They don't think I sound sick, but I totally can hear it. But I've been playing a lot of my Switch recently, actually. I haven't really played a lot of games on the PC this week. I've been playing a lot of Rocket League on my Switch. I don't know what it is about playing the Switch, but like whenever I play a game on the Switch, it feels different than playing it on another platform. And I know that's like an obvious thing to say, but like I have Rocket League on Xbox, PC, and Switch. I don't have an Xbox anymore, but it feels so much different playing it in handheld while laying down than like playing it on a TV or on my monitor. And I don't know what it is about it, but it feels so cool to know that like I'm playing this game mobile, like on a mobile device. I don't know, the Switch just has that charm to it where you're like, wow, this game is portable, but it's like a full console game, you know? I guess it's the main selling point of the console, but
Does that last?
it definitely, the novelty wears off, but it is still cool just to think about, you know, you're playing like Doom on freaking Nintendo Switch. That game doesn't look great on Switch though, because it taxes the Switch's hardware, but like playing Breath of the Wild on the go is like pretty crazy.
It was pretty nice to know that you can play it pretty much wherever in the house too. Like you don't have to go to your TV.
Nope.
You can go on the couch.
Or on the
And
toilet?
I do.
Or
Yeah,
on the
literally on the
And
toilet.
you've done that?
Oh yeah.
In the shower, like holding it outside. And playing.
Maybe I would put like a plastic bag over it and do it, but
I challenge you. Hey, that could be one of the Let's Plays, but we'll have to blur some
or I
stuff
could
out.
just wear a swimming suit.
We'll just blur out his face, nothing else.
Hey, we want to get the best part of you.
Oh. Should I take that as a compliment?
It could be taken as a compliment and a slight. I want it to just be a slight.
Okay.
No, you're beautiful.
Well, I am slightly annoyed by this.
Thank you.
Butterface.
Ouch! It's just Ryan taking it a whole nother step.
What does that even
Actual
mean?
insult.
Do you not know what that means?
No.
Okay, so in, toxic masculinity talk, if you call a girl a butterface, it means she's attractive everywhere but her face. Like she may have a good body or whatever. So that's what he said.
Okay.
But he's wrong. He's wrong, Nick.
I was totally kidding.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
Well,
is that all you've really been playing though?
pretty much just Rocket League on my Switch, and I've been playing more of that Hyrule Warriors game that I told you guys about. But yeah, that's all I've played.
Cool. So we have a lot of gaming news. I think we have like 6 items.
Or something like that.
So the first item, I'm just going to throw it in there, was just to talk about the Sea of Thieves thing, the update with the Megalodon, adding that campaign. So I think my only problem with them calling it kind of a campaign with a main character is, yeah, there is kind of a story, but it isn't a traditional story. You do have to like read his journals, and so it's not like a story that's told to you out loud. And so I'm hoping they add something in like that later, and maybe that's just because they just had to release this quickly, they didn't have time to do that. But
That's
as of now, it's just like he does have like things he says, but not all of it. It's a little bit like Zelda in that aspect, where a lot of the characters will have like certain things they say, especially as you come up to them. But then a lot of their stuff is just making noise while you read it. So he did like have a whole thing where he said stuff, and you actually did have to follow like clues. They didn't give you like a quest marker. So that was kind of interesting. It did make you seem like a little more piratey, except for Ryan and I are stupid. But regardless of that, like calling it a campaign, I think is a little bit of a stretch, but it is fun.
Yeah. It didn't really feel like... It just felt like a to-do list, really.
Yeah,
Kind of like quests on an MMO.
a little. Yeah, kind of
little
like quests, like go here, do this, figure out this, and then go here to do this, and then you get this reward, and then at the end it leads you to the shark encounter. So that's kind of how it is. It like leads you along the way. So it does have kind of a progression in that way, but it's not like a traditional story.
I still don't know how those clues from the first person were supposed to lead us to...
Well, apparently a lot of people figured it out, so we're done.
Yeah.
Then the other piece of gaming news I had really quick before we get to the people that's going to take a little longer was the reason I played League of Legends, because I do like the game, but also the new champion came out,
oh, okay.
Pike. I haven't been able to use them and play as much as I'd like to. I just haven't had time yet. But I did play like a quick custom game with Caitlyn, and I played him, and he's fun.
Is he a support?
Yes.
Like
he's
an attack support?
He's an assassin support.
Wow.
So what's really interesting is one of his moves is like it's almost like a blitzcrank pull where it pulls you in, but you actually have to like charge it up and shoot it. So it's not like just an instant pull. You actually have to like do it, and it always pulls them a certain distance. So the closer you are, you can pop them behind you, and closer to your teammates, depending on how close you are. So it can also stop them just from getting away. But yeah, so then he has another stun move. But the main draw of him is, like, let's say you're the ADC and you shoot someone, and they're almost dead, and then he ults them. He has like a little X ult where he goes down, like comes up out of the water, I guess is what he goes through, and like assassinates them. You get to share that gold.
Oh.
So he gets the kill, but it shares the gold with the ADC like they got the kill.
Okay.
And the other way around as well. So it's interesting. And if he does kill someone with his ult, he can then reuse it with a certain amount of cooldown. So if multiple people, let's say their ADC and support were low, he could technically kill both using the ult right in a row.
Okay.
Resets.
And his
Yeah.
hook, you said, did you say it can work on allies too, to like bring him
No,
back?
no, no. It doesn't work on allies. It works on hitting. So it hits, let's say you're my enemy. Depending on the distance we are, it'll always bring you the same distance. So if I'm right next to you, it'll throw you behind me closer to my teammates.
But you can't get your teammate out of the.
No, you cannot do that.
Kind of like how Thresh can.
No, you don't have like a lantern. But
All
he
right.
also can use that Q without charging it up, and it will just slow the enemies in front of him.
All right.
So it can hit multiple people, but it won't pull them back, and then he has to actually charge it, and he has to actually aim it to hit someone to bring it back. And then he has a Tom Kench-esque ability where he has like a gray bar of health that if he has to hide though, like Tom Kench, he just has to wait. If he gets away from the enemy or out of their sight, he then like will get part of that health back. So he's very sustainable in lane as well. So I doubt everyone will use him as a support, but that is his main draw because of that gold share. And it does work the opposite way as well. So as long as he uses ult on them and they finish him off, then you also get some of that. At least the one time I saw that happened. So it is an interesting thing. I don't know that it's been really done like that before, to have an assassin support. So it's cool, and I want to kind of see how it affects games.
I want to play him now.
Yeah.
He sounds like a character I want to play.
And he's creepy looking.
I thought that when you explained him to me earlier, I thought you said that if he uses ult, then the ADC would get the kill.
They get the gold like they got the kill, and it might actually share the kill as well. I didn't pay enough attention to see if Caitlyn was actually getting the credit for the kill.
Mm-hmm.
That might be. I'd have to check back with that though.
Hmm.
So if I told you that before, it probably is that way, but I don't know that for sure. But it does definitely share the gold, which is the most important part anyway.
No, isn't it the experience?
And that it shares. I'm pretty sure it shares the experience as well.
Okay.
So
Well, fun. Okay.
that's all I have.
So I have some gaming news. I want to talk about Fallout 76. They teased us with some information, and the rest of it's going to come out during E3. But
like the other 72.
What?
The other 72 Fallout games.
Oh yeah. So you know, there's been memes about this, about naming conventions. You know how like you go from Xbox to Xbox 360 to Xbox One, and then Fallout 4 to Fallout 76. Like we just missed a bunch of.
But it does
Fallout.
make sense because of the vaults. So if you've played a Fallout game, that makes sense because there's different vaults in each.
Well, yeah, but still, it's like
It's true. It is a little bit wacky.
And there's also been lots of jokes about Soldier 76 with this announcement. But they say it's going to be a online survival RPG instead of the basic, single player go play through the campaign. And so
Shocking.
I mean, when they say it's going to be online RPG, does that mean it's going to be an MMO RPG? Is that what that means exactly?
I've heard a lot of people compare it to other survival games like 7 Days to Die or Ark.
Yeah,
I'm naming games that I don't know that you guys even know what they are.
people said
I know what Ark is.
in this article it says it was heavily inspired by games like DayZ and Rust.
Okay, so yeah, just an open world survival kind of game. So I would compare it to 7 Days to Die, which is an open world zombie one, or Ark where you have dinosaurs, but Minecraft. Like
Essentially,
okay.
yeah.
like a survival, like where you have to like find stuff, survive. I don't know that that's exactly what it's going to be like, and I don't know that anyone knows yet, for sure.
Right.
We'll probably see more during the year.
Yeah, I mean, it's saying it's going to be completely new, taken in a new direction, which I like because I think as great as Fallout is, I think its whole premise is played out.
Fallout 4 was kind of the same thing as Fallout 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're innovating.
Yeah. It's like our...
But people won't like it.
We'll see.
As proven in the last podcast.
We'll see how much... we'll see how much people buy it. Fallout is a huge brand name in gaming, and so it's going to get lots of good sales at first. We know that. Is it going to hold up to the rest of the games? We'll see. But interesting development for Fallout. The next news is PUBG Corporation sues Epic Games for copyright infringement. And
Do you want to tell us where you found that site?
Well, this is on Variety.
Cool. Now we won't get hit with copyright.
Can we copy strike PewDiePie? None of you get that?
No,
Okay.
I don't watch PewDiePie.
Don't either.
All right. Well. All right then. It was a big issue just recently about the copy strike laws in YouTube and how if you
Copyright.
So she said the girl said copy strike, but it's copyright claim is what she actually meant.
A strike in your account.
Right. And so there was the big issue of like how does YouTube actually deal with copyright claims, because if you claim someone's video is copyright
It takes it down.
you
then
get
you have to.
no, it doesn't take it down. You just get the revenue generated
that's
by
true.
it. And
Then you have to prove.
yeah,
It's a
so
whole other thing.
there's a lot of issues with it. Anyway, sidestep, not relating to what I mean.
What's your news?
Okay, so
PUBG and Fortnite.
PUBG is suing Fortnite, but only in South Korea, because I guess that's the only, as far as copyright goes, Korea is the only country where I guess legally they can do it. And the headlines come out saying PUBG sues Fortnite, and that's all they say. They're not saying, oh, it's just in Korea. So there was a lot of freak out about,
Clickbait.
yeah, is Fortnite going away? Is PUBG taking over? And
You will believe what happens next.
exactly, and even though gaming is big in Korea, it's still a small market compared
Number
to
7 will astound you.
yeah, it's still a small market compared to
It's
everywhere
pretty
else.
late.
And generally, most people don't like that this is happening, even if they are PUBG fans, because they believe that it's similar, whatever. A lot of games are, but that they should let the market decide, which one is better.
Which is Fortnite.
Learn Korean in just 1 week. No schooling. I'm just doing clickbait stuff. But sorry.
I was like, what? I don't know what you're saying, but I want to hear more.
So you have never seen those?
I don't
It doesn't
know what
matter.
you're talking
Just
about.
keep your story going.
Anyway,
it was a lame joke.
So, I mean, what do you guys think of this?
I think PUBG is just salty that their game is not as good as Fortnite.
Okay, I think. Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
That was a,
I don't
that was a
know.
half joke.
Okay,
That was a half joke.
PUBG, that's debatable. But what is true is Fortnite is more popular.
1,000.
Well,
That's
it's also
more popular.
free, so that's
Yeah.
easy to make it more popular.
So it's not. So that argument isn't debatable. They could be salty about that. Could they have some, legitimate reason for it? If they did, I think they'd be able to make the case in other countries and not just South Korea.
So what was their exact reasoning for doing it again?
So let me get into
I
it.
think it's literally just because the game is like the same.
But I mean, that's like they also copied a game to
Yeah.
like PUBG. They just did it better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like DayZ was like very
Rust,
similar
even.
in a lot of ways.
Well, not Rust. Well,
They
maybe
just took
Rust.
that premise and then made it a little bit.
It started with Minecraft Hunger Games, basically. Even before that, it probably...
Yeah, I think maybe the big thing they added was the slowly diminishing map.
Probably.
But tons of games have had stuff scattered where you have to find things, and
Yeah.
there's a ton of games that did stuff like that. They just changed it in a couple different ways, and then they did it well enough that it made it big. And then Fortnite took a completely different direction with it. Same game,
Yeah.
but cartoony and added different things. So
And there's building, and then...
I
yeah,
really wish you could use the sword in the battle royale, because I've played a little bit of the campaign in Fortnite.
How do you have the...
own it?
Oh,
Because Jonah,
okay.
Xbox game share.
yeah, and so I played a little bit of the campaign, and man, the sword is fun to use.
I didn't know there was
I think
a
I would
sword.
actually like the campaign. Like it's like a tower defense game, but like as a shooter.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried to buy one of those games one time.
You
it was
guys should do a
terrible.
Let's Play.
Yeah, except I don't own it because
I
Alright.
do.
So this article doesn't
well
doesn't dive into the specifics of the case, and I'm sure more of that will come out.
But regardless, it's the fact that it's happening.
Yeah, but interesting. Listen to this. It says this is not the first time PUBG has sued over copyright infringement. It filed a suit back in April against mobile developer NetEase, claiming 2 of its titles, Rules of Survival and Knives Out, copied PUBG's gameplay. So they are kind of a company needs to protect its intellectual property, but PUBG is no stranger to filing lawsuits over this. But also this is an unusual one because both companies are partly owned by technology giant Tencent. PUBG is also built on Unreal Engine technology, which is owned by Epic Games.
It is, yep.
So essentially,
the children are fighting.
Yeah, the children are fighting, and I believe that this will probably be resolved rather quickly. Fortnite has plenty of legal backing, and I don't think that PUBG is really going to get anywhere. I mean, I'd have to see the specifics, but I understand why PUBG might be salty, but I don't see the huge upside in this, especially in a small market like Korea.
I mean, PUBG still has a big player base. I mean, they got the Xbox player base since it's exclusive to Xbox and console, and it's still a popular game on Steam. Or not Steam. Yeah, Steam. It's still a popular game on Steam and Twitch. Yeah. It's just that Fortnite is more popular. So
yeah, I think my other problem with it is, and I can see the reasoning behind that because games love to copy games.
Yeah.
Especially when they're successful. But if you switch it up enough, that makes it yours.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my problem with it, is like they switched it up enough. It's not like Flappy Bird where had their Flappy Bird, whatever that game was, and then a million other ones that were the exact same game with just different skin on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what Fortnite did.
No.
They had a different skin, but then they changed a ton of stuff. They have building, they have traps, they have a ton of stuff that PUBG just doesn't have. So, and they have no vehicles either, and they have a whole different, it's so different. The only similarities really are the amount of people, the fact that it shrinks and that you drop from bots and you have to find weaponry. But you could say that about almost any game. Like every MOBA is essentially the same with little changes that make them different and a little bit different.
Yeah.
But they don't have the right to sue someone because they changed it up enough. Now, if someone took League of Legends or Heroes of the Storm and basically just renamed some of the characters but had the exact same maps and everything, then that would be grounds, I would say, to sue someone.
Yeah.
But, and again, like you said, I'd need to see what specifically they are trying to sue for, because maybe they do have a legal stance on one specific thing, but it just kind of seems like they're salty.
Right. And it makes me, just initially, I'm happy to change my mind after more details, but it initially makes me kind of, disrespect PUBG a little bit over this, because I think they should focus more on improving their game, making their game.
On the Xbox, because it runs badly. He can't talk right now.
Yeah, sure.
Because he's coughing to death.
Anyway, so PUBG suing Fortnite in South Korea, and that's what I have for gaming news.
Alrighty. Well, guys, so we all know the Nintendo Switch is doing really well. But it's about to do even more well, which is terrible grammar.
Even better?
Even more better.
Even more better than well.
Even more better.
Anyways, the next Pokemon game has been announced
Gotta
officially.
Catch 'em all.
And it's not what we expected. Even though it was leaked, the majority of people did not think that this is where they were going to go. So, for those of you that don't know, the next installment of the game is called Pokemon Let's Go. You might think that sounds familiar to Pokemon Go. It's because they are intertwined in some ways.
Like how you catch Pokemon.
Which I
think is dumb.
I think you can connect it to your Pokemon Go game.
Yep, you do. So I just have an article. I have an article of Polygon.
I saw a commercial for it.
Hey, I'm talking. So I have an article pulled up on Polygon.com here, just kind of giving us information about what we know about Pokemon Let's Go. So it is a remake of Pokemon Yellow,
which is the only one I ever played.
Yeah, it's a good one too.
Yeah. So the original Kanto region with the original 151 Pokemon are the only Pokemon that'll be available.
Yay.
Some of their Alola region counterparts will be there, which is Gen 8, I think. It's the Sun and Moon generation.
Yeah, whatever the new one is.
Yeah, they just released Alolan Executor in Pokemon
Pokemon Go. So the Alolan, some of the Alolan versions of Pokemon will be in this game, but it's still only the original 151.
Do you guys know what Alolan Executor looks like?
It's
No.
lower.
No, look it up. It looks stupid.
I'm actually gonna look it up now.
Is that the one with the longer
Well,
neck?
I think Tanner's looking up so you can keep the news going.
It's a
Oh, I
huge-
already pulled it up. Too late. What the heck? He looks like a giraffe.
Oh no, I have seen him. You're right. You look.
He looks like a giraffe.
I said, is he the one with the longer neck?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like he's a palm tree.
He was a meme, like,
Which makes
Over a
sense
year ago.
because he's in Hawaii,
Yeah, that does make sense.
technically.
Yeah,
Huh.
but he still looks stupid, and he's a dragon type for some reason.
dragon.
That's
Wait,
weird.
what? He's grass.
It's a grass dragon.
Since when?
Since now.
He was only grass in the original game.
I mean, I grabbed my phone. I caught one.
No, we're good. I
Well.
believe you. So,
So I guess they changed him. But anyways,
get to the good part.
what is the good part? I'm just kidding. So it releases November 16th. There's two different versions, the Pikachu and the Eevee version. I think we all know which one's going to be the most popular one.
Although,
Eevee.
doesn't Eevee have the potential to go to like Jolteon?
Not if you
Flareon?
buy the Eevee version.
So, why would anyone buy that version?
Exactly. That's why the Pikachu
No one wants an
version.
Eevee. Well, they're kind
I
of
know.
cute, but still.
So yeah, it actually says it right here. Whichever version you buy, your starter cannot evolve. But it was
I
like
don't
that in
care
yellow.
about Raichu.
wasn't it?
Raichu sucks anyway.
You couldn't have.
No, Pikachu is always Pikachu.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
Well,
yellow.
I never cared about Raichu, so.
Mhm.
But Jolteon and Flareon and Iceon.
Yeah.
Vaporeon.
See, I
There
was
we go.
I was thinking about buying the Eevee one, but when I heard that Eevee can't evolve, I'm like, well, shoot, I got to buy the Pikachu one now.
Because they follow you around
Yeah.
and can like go on your shoulder.
I mean, I still like Pikachu, but I want Eevee to evolve. I mean, Eevee's adorable and all, but he's kind of useless.
But you want a
when he's
freaking
not evolved.
Jolteon.
I
you
want a
know?
Jolteon or
Flareon.
Vaporeon, man. So, anyways, so
Or Graceon.
so that's pretty much the
No,
difference.
the grass one's Leafeon and the ice one's
No,
Glaceon.
I was.
Wait, those are real?
Yeah.
Was not real in the first one though.
They're not generation.
They're not Gen.
150.
It's like
Yeah,
Okay, because I was like,
Glaceon
I've never
and
heard of that before.
Glaceon and Leafeon are like Gen 4?
it's the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl games is where they're from. So, and then like in X and Y they added a fairy version, I think. But
They also have Rockion.
is that real?
No.
No.
And if I remember correctly, there's no more random encounters in like.
Like you can see the Pokemon and you go.
Yeah,
up to
in
them
like the
and fight.
grass. Remember, because back in the day,
Mhm.
you'd like walk through the grass, and all of a sudden something gets you. And this one, you can see them, and you can kind of go around them if you don't want to fight.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I just know that
No
the
more random
wild
encounters. Which
the
is
wild
cool.
battles are just basically Pokemon Go. So you can't battle with wild encounters anymore. You can only just catch them,
Which
just
I
like Pokemon
think
Go.
is freaking awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, a
what
lot
the
of
heck?
people aren't happy about that.
Like,
Well,
That's the
change,
whole point of
more
Pokemon.
humane.
change the game, but make it better. Don't make it worse.
Well, they're trying to appeal to a wider audience. From the audience that played Pokemon Go, they're trying to get them to buy a Switch.
Wider.
Yeah.
Pokemon's a huge audience.
I know. It doesn't
Who
really
else
make
can we get it?
a lot of people play Pokemon Go that probably don't play Pokemon, you know.
Cool, you got him then.
That's true. Yeah.
You already got him.
Yeah. I mean, it is still a main line RPG game. It still has battling. It still has trainer battling, gym battling, all that fun
And
stuff.
it is cool that it is better looking, and you do get to walk through it, not in first person, but you do
Like, kinda
get to
top
see
down.
things.
Yeah.
Like it actually looks like it's a place, not like on the Game Boy where it looked like it was like drawings of nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in this, it actually is something
Technology.
that looks really cool,
Yeah.
and you could ride on flying Pokemon. I think.
And
Nice.
that would be a little more realistic too, because like if you're walking through the grass, then
So that could be wrong.
you're not all of a sudden gonna get attacked and be like, oh no!
Buy an
You're
Onyx, you know.
It's like you're just
Didn't
walking
see
around.
that one coming.
Yeah, you would see an Onyx coming from like at least a mile away.
This tuft of grass. It's just coming out of it.
Yeah, I guess that never really made sense in the original games.
You know, there were jokes about, you know, when this was announced was that, you know, after Pokemon Go, Nintendo's like, all right, guys, get back inside.
But it was funny because just recently I was talking to Ryan about what I kind of wanted them to do on the Pokemon for Switch before this was like even released as news. And what I said, and I thought would have been cool, would have been keep Pokemon basically the same, but make it a first-person RPG.
Yes.
And so, like, imagine like a Zelda kind of game or Skyrim kind of game, but Pokemon. And
Oh.
you could go out and like you
Yeah.
could throw Pokemon and fight them and like find them. And like it would be almost the exact same. Like you would still have to fight them to catch them. It would be the battles and the gyms, but you'd be in first person going around that world in like a completely new way. And like if you had to get over a mountain, you'd have to get like a flying type Pokemon or something like that. Like I thought that would have been cool. To go across the lake, you'd get like a water type Pokemon, or you'd swim, and there could be the perils of a Gyarados getting you.
Right. You're
so
not alone.
I thought that would be cool, and it's at the very least it hit some of those marks for me. Like it isn't exactly what I wanted, but in a little bit of a way, it did hit some of those marks.
Okay, so Keefen, you're not alone in this. Ever since Pokemon was a thing, that's what people have wanted. But Nintendo has been scared to do that because they are afraid to deviate too much from what made Pokemon great to begin with. We were talking about, innovating, but not innovating too fast.
But my problem is they've never innovated.
Well, yeah.
All they've added was new Pokemon. They've never
that's not true.
done
They added Mega Evolution. They added
but that's
triple battles.
Okay.
But I'm talking about like evolution to the gameplay.
Okay, about the gameplay, the first Pokemon game I ever played was Pokemon Snap.
Okay, that's not the
was
same kind of game.
which
though.
was-
Such a good
Was
game.
that on the N64?
Yeah,
I think so.
That was an innovative game, but it was such a weird game to like. The first Pokemon
We should try
game
that
to-
one, see if that holds up.
I know.
Yeah.
I bet it doesn't.
The first,
No, it does. I played it last
I
year.
bet it wouldn't for me.
the first Pokemon game that I played like on a console, I was like, oh, I'm going to play, Pokemon and like battle. It's like, nope, I'm going to take pictures of Pokemon. And then they came out with Pokemon Stadium, which kind of, basically fulfilled, battling on the console. But in RPG, like you said, that's what people have wanted for a while. We got Pokemon Go, which was like, okay, this is kind of like it. It's more personal.
Except for you can't do anything.
I know anyone can play it. Anyone can play
Sound
it
like
on
you
their
with Sea of
phone.
Thieves.
You don't need a console. And I thought that this would finally be that, but it took like half a step there. It's not quite there yet. And I do want that, because I don't know if I want to play this Pokemon game. For one, I don't have a Switch, but if they did come out with that RPG which we're describing, I would buy a Switch for it.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that because this isn't the only Pokemon game coming out.
What? I actually didn't know. That's actually really
So
surprising.
they are developing a normal mainline Pokemon game for next year.
What do you mean normal mainline?
So
Pokemon
like
game?
X and Y, Sun and Moon, that generation, I think.
But is it what we described?
Not what you described exactly,
Then I don't care.
but it's not. It doesn't have any of the Let's Go mechanics. It's like a normal Pokemon game.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I like almost everything they did, but I hate the Pokemon Go things they added, and I hate the way that you have to throw the Pokeball to get it. That's who cares about that?
Right.
It didn't even work well on Pokemon Go.
All the millions of people playing Pokemon Go care.
Except for that, I don't know that anyone said that was my favorite part, was how I could throw the Pokeballs.
No.
That was like my
you can
least
do it with the
favorite part.
Joy-Cons
I think
now.
I'm the only one
Yeah.
who plays it still. And
No, Kenny.
No, I mean from.
Oh yeah,
out
from
of
us, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
Out of
I
us,
deleted
I'm
that
the only
long
one
ago.
Yeah.
that plays it
And
still.
it is better now, I hear.
Yeah, I mean, it is. They added a bunch of different quests, and like, what my main problem was is that when they came out with the rating system, I didn't always have time to go out and meet strangers to go catch a legendary Pokemon.
That's fair.
But like with some of the quests that you can do now, like I've been able to catch a Moltres and a Zapdos by myself
Oh.
because of if you complete a certain amount of quests a week, if you do I think 5 or 6 quests a week, you're given the opportunity to capture a legendary Pokemon instead of having to fight it first with a rating group and then
Catch it.
catch it.
See, that's cool. And so I think they have done stuff with that, but my problem is I don't want Pokemon Go on the Switch. I don't want that. That's not what I want.
That's what you got.
But I love. Actually, I was really excited. And I thought the only thing that I hated was the catching the Pokemon. But now you tell me that you can't even fight wild Pokemon. And that's lame to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of makes me not want to get it anymore either. Because I was kind of excited about it because I do love the idea of going through my Pokemon Yellow game again, but actually being able to see the world that I was supposed to be in back then that I kind of imagined a little bit for myself, but it looked so terrible that I couldn't even put that much imagination into it, and actually get to go through that world, see them in high quality, because I haven't played a Pokemon game in forever. Literally, I haven't played since Yellow, because they're all the same to me. They just add new Pokemon,
Yeah.
and I didn't know they had Mega Evolutions. I know they have extra evolutions, but to me that's not changing.
Like, you're not going to play a whole nother game just for that, right?
Yeah, that's not changing it for me. But this is. adding in where you're exploring like a cool world in a little bit of a different view, and how walking through fields you can see the Pokemon ahead of time. That's different. That's cool. That's innovative. They just took a half step forward and then a quarter step back with the other stuff they added, and I don't know if that's going to be enough for me. So that's my opinion.
Yeah, I can't say I'm thrilled about it either because I don't like Pokemon Go catching mechanics. But since I know that they're making a regular Pokemon game, I don't really mind because the game that's for me is coming. I'm just gonna have to wait a whole another year for it, but it'll be worth it because it'll be way better. But that means they're gonna develop it more and they'll have more time to develop it. And I just said the same thing twice. And
will they have more time to develop it?
I don't know.
Maybe they will make it closer to the game that you guys were describing.
Maybe they will. I don't know. We don't really know a lot about the game besides that it's Pokemon X and Y, Sun and Moon, kind of like that. So I'm pretty excited for that. But there is a new accessory coming out with Pokemon Let's Go called the Pokeball Plus, which is like this little plastic Pokeball that like stores all your Pokemon on it. It has a joystick on it, so like you can use it in both versions of the game, in both Pokemon Go and Pokemon Let's Go. So if you want to pay $50 for it,
what? How about like a $5 like joke kid accessory?
So if you want to pay $50 for it, you can.
Hey,
that's like a controller that works for 2 games.
If they're going to be charging $50 for cardboard, why would you expect anything different?
But the
for this?
cardboard, at least you can build and do something with.
You can do stuff with the Pokeball.
You can literally play 2 games. That's it, and one game's been played for years at this point.
Okay, so
no one's gonna go Pokemon Go with a controller now and a phone.
Ridiculous.
No one's gonna walk around like outside like.
Actually, you know what? You know what's funny is that
I threw it. Oh no, it broke.
I bet this Pokeball is gonna sell so
You're
much.
right, it will, but it pisses me off.
It's gonna sell so many.
I hate it.
Okay,
So
so
just like the Pokemon, the thing for Pokemon Go, that made it so you didn't have to like actually turn on the app to collect the items. What was that called? The Pokemon Go Plus, I think it was called.
you're the only one that would know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Pokemon Go
That's
Plus.
true.
That was
Like that.
I
That
stopped
was
playing.
sold out for quite some time. I don't feel comfortable saying an amount of time, but I just know. Like, I never had enough interest in Pokemon Go to actually buy it, but I had enough interest to actually look to see if the prices were dropping a little bit, because I think they're selling for like $35.
Wait, what does it do for you?
So, instead of having to open up the app every time, you can just keep... It's like almost like a pedometer, and...
Oh, cool. So you get paid $35 to not drain your battery? Thanks, Pokemon Go.
Yeah, it's not drinking
I mean,
battery, but,
basically, that's what it
and-
is.
And
like,
still kind of
it makes it makes it
Yeah.
easier. It makes it easier to hatch eggs.
That should have just been a feature.
Well, because then you don't have to have the app up, and then plus you can if you're like driving or on a train or something, and you're going past Pokestops, if you're in the app, you're usually going too fast to select it. But with the Pokemon Go Plus, I think you can get to those Pokestops a little easier. And plus, like, it catches things for you too. Like,
So it plays the game for you?
you just sit there.
yeah, it
You
makes
the whole
just drive
purpose of the
along
game?
and...
Wasn't the whole purpose of the game to walk around and be like you're in Pokemon World?
Yeah, I don't know all the. I don't know all the details.
Like, I get the
just-
idea, and I get people would buy it because people are lazy. It just feels like why don't they just play a normal Pokemon game where they don't have to go anywhere? There's a lot of them.
There's a ton of them.
That's
Okay,
what-
here's a question I have about it. Is it connected to like Pokemon Go in the sense like where could Ryan like upload his profile to the
Yeah,
game?
well, not profiles, but you can trade Pokemon. Like, Pokemon you catch in Pokemon Go on your phone, you can transfer to Pokemon Let's Go, but you can't transfer Pokemon from Let's Go to Pokemon Go.
Okay, so if you transfer it, is it gone?
I don't know if it's gone, but
or does it copy over?
I don't know that.
Okay,
But
that'll be interesting because someone like Ryan, I know that he'll want his current Pokemon. He'll want a Zapdos, right?
Except for
Probably.
I don't have a Switch. So.
Except for that Nick does.
except for that he's gonna buy a Switch.
Yep.
All of
Hey,
ours,
you've
we
been
can do
thinking
Let's
about it
Plays.
already.
All of you are else we can do Let's Plays in it. What?
That means you have to buy it.
I already have a Switch.
Oh, I thought you meant you're talking about Pokemon.
Oh, no, I just meant on Switch.
Oh, Let's Play on the Switch. Yes, especially when Smash comes out. We're going to be doing a lot of
I
that.
mean, to be fair, that could just be filmed in one Switch.
Yeah, I was gonna say I want to play that together.
Well, we would be able to play it together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll just
They
be
wouldn't
one
need Switches
Switch.
for that. Anyways, is there anything else that's the big news about that Pokemon game, or is that the main gist?
I think that's most of the news for Pokemon Let's Go. But I'm not decided on whether. Well, technically, there's another Pokemon game that came out the day that they announced Pokemon Let's Go, called Pokemon Quest.
What?
It's a mobile game.
How?
They just don't stop.
It's a mobile game, but it's also on the Switch. So basically, it's like Minecraft meets Pokemon because it's all pixel and blocky like Minecraft.
Oh, there's already a Minecraft mod where you can play.
No, they shut that down.
Oh, that's really depressing because it looked really cool.
What's interesting is I watched a video. So Nintendo likes to shut things down so that they can do it.
Yeah,
so
it's true.
they
They do all
shut
the
down the
time.
Metroid 2 remake to make Samus Returns. They shut down the Minecraft Pokemon mod to make Pokemon Quest. So Nintendo likes to do that.
Well, I'm
apparently.
not. Who's gonna do Pokemon Quest?
Well, they already have 1 million downloads of it.
Was it all?
Wait,
from them?
is it free?
Yeah, it's a mobile app. It's on your phone and the Switch.
Tons of apps cost money on my phone.
Well, it's a free app. Yes,
It's a free.
It's like it's a free.
It's a free.
It's a free Mario app. Actually, it's not a Mario app. It's a Pokemon app.
It's kind of like Mario Run.
So you guys are looking it up right now. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, we can at this point go to the main topic.
Okay.
So the main topic at this point is going to be: do you need to be good at a game to enjoy it?
Yes.
And we're going to go into little
No.
bits of subsections because I don't think that all games are going to fall perfectly, and I bet there'll be some games where it's a yes and some games where it's a no. And we're going to kind of delve into why and what makes some games more enjoyable even if you suck compared to ones that you don't like at all if you're not good at. So what would be, just without getting into any of the sub things, what would you say? Do you have to be good at a game to enjoy it?
No.
I would say no.
What do you say, Ryan?
I'd say no as well.
I would say partially yes.
I would say no. Well, okay, partially that's fine. I would say no. You don't have to be because only Sith deals in absolutes, as we know. But what I mean though is that like.
Even though that's pretty absolutist.
Even if most games,
idea.
even if 99% of games are a yes, if there's 1% that's a no, then it's like, okay, well, no, you don't. If it's a catch-all phrase, no. My first example is I still have a lot to learn about Minecraft, but I enjoy playing it, with you guys.
I wouldn't say that's a game that anyone's ever like good at, unless they're good at the building aspect. In which case, I would say people are really.
You guys are
at
good at
it.
pissing me off.
Hey, I've been nice in Minecraft.
Actually, yeah, that's true.
We are good.
And that'll be released
It's
next
a
week.
skill I've honed
Yes.
over the years.
With tanks and Minecraft and stuff. But like also, like League, that is a game that I am lacking so much skill at, but there are times I have fun despite my lack of skill, and there are times that I don't have fun because of my lack of skill.
I agree.
And it could just
I concur.
yeah. Well, I mean, like, it comes down to, the competition. Do they know more or less than me? And if they know less, generally I have a more fun time. And
So the question is,
So how often
to
does
enjoy a
that
game
happen?
you're not good at, there
Yeah.
has to be someone else trying to enjoy the game who also isn't good, but they have to be less good.
yeah,
Bronze in a nutshell.
just circle around it. I mean, but like, let's say the rest of the team, the opposing team is good. All of them, they all know more than me. But then I have a really good player on my team that really helps out, and I can do a lot of stuff because they're taking a huge load. Then I can have fun doing that. But
Have you broken many players' backs?
Because they were trying to carry you and you were so heavy.
carrying you.
Don't worry, Ryan, I understand.
I was thinking like, what? Like, did I step on a crack? Is that what you're thinking about?
It's not be your mom.
Yeah. So, well, my mom plays League so much. I wish.
You said that's so serious.
But
Anyways.
anyway, so those are my first initial thoughts.
I keep
about
checking the recording because we lost the first 10 minutes the first time we tried to record it. Just so everyone knows,
We're
like,
good.
keep looking over to make sure because we lost 10 minutes the first time. So I just don't want us to lose it.
it. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Now they just got that out.
Are you sure it's recording?
Yeah, it definitely is.
Wait, should you look again?
Oh, shut up.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Is it?
Free. So for
Well,
me,
now I wish it wasn't.
see, here's my thing. I think sometimes for me it's a yes. Like, honestly, I don't like Rocket League that much unless I'm playing it with, like, maybe 4 people locally who also aren't amazing. So, in that aspect, kind of like you, just like, or just to have fun. Like, if I'm playing a game to have fun and mess around, like, I've played games of League with you guys where we've gotten destroyed, but we had a ton of fun doing it. So, we were messing around, just doing dorky stuff, and it was fun the entire time because we had a different attitude. But I feel like, and it's a longer game, so you can more easily do that. But with Rocket League, they're such short games, and it's so debilitating to just like watch as you get beat 23-1 or 22-0, whatever it was.
Never
Jonah beat me.
happens.
Yeah, well, that actually happened to me.
Jonah did.
Jonah
too.
beat me 22-1 or 0.
22?
Yeah, he just wouldn't stop scoring. I could barely touch the ball. He's so good at controlling his car, and I just couldn't do it. So that was not fun in any way for me.
Yeah, Jonah's beaten me 14-4.
And like he's just so good. Like for me, it's a matter of like what I'm going in with, and because it's such a short game, it's hard for me to have a lot of fun. And since I've stopped playing Fortnite or PUBG as much, those can be like Fortnite, especially, is a very fast-paced game, so you can die extremely quickly unless you hide the whole time. So for me, that's a game you kind of have to be good at to have a lot of fun in. But a game like the other games like League, I would say I'm decent at it, but I'm not amazing, but I still have a lot of fun, and I want to get better. So that's another big thing for me is I think games that I can be less good in, that I still enjoy, are games that I want to be better in. And games that I don't enjoy because I'm not good in are games that I just want to play casually and just want it to be a fun experience every time. So Minecraft for me is that. Like, I don't ever need to be good enough where I can build an amazing computer redstone contraption filled with traps in my house that are like incredibly complex and amazing. I don't ever need to be that good, but I can still have fun while playing it. Like the base game is still fun, but to me, Rocket League isn't unless I'm playing with other people who just want to mess around, because the base game is hit the ball in there, and if you can't hit the freaking ball, then it's not fun anymore.
It is a little degrading losing by that much.
So yeah, like for me, it depends on like what the gameplay loop is and what it is I'm trying to get out of the game.
Right. So it's kind of like playing Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi with Ryan.
I literally never enjoy playing Dragon Ball with him.
Neither do I.
Every single time he gets me to play it, I just sit there and I'm like...
You just take it. You just bend over and take it the whole time.
And I'm like, well...
And it's like, okay, now that we're
Can
done
we play
with that,
Smash now?
it's like, let's move on to something else.
Like
But
Smash.
I have fun in Smash. I'm not great at Smash. I'm good enough to survive at least a decent length and run away pretty well, but I'm not great at that game. When I play with, especially you two freaks, and Caitlin even, like, you guys will usually be able to destroy me, but I still have fun with that game. It's still a fun game, and it lasts long enough where it's not as debilitating.
Yeah, I mean, it's designed to be kind of a party game in a way, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
I guess my thoughts on the matter are... I would say I just really think it depends on the game. I know that's like kind of a cop-out answer, but what we've been talking about, like with League, for example, I'm terrible at League. Like, I have never made it past bronze. The highest I ever made it was bronze 1 during preseason. So like that doesn't even count. After I did my placements, after getting bronze 1, I got placed bronze 5. So like I just...
I used to be there.
Yeah. And I feel like if I put more time into League, I could get better, but League games are so long, and I just don't want to put the time in to get better. But I still have fun with the game, even though I'm not good at it. But I only have fun with the game when I'm playing with my friends. Because I've noticed when I try to solo queue, I just get frustrated because I'm not playing well. And I tilt. And it's like, well, this game isn't fun for me because I'm not good at it. And I'm never going to be good at it because I don't have the time to put into this game.
You do, but you're not going to put.
But I'm not going to.
Yeah.
And because I have other games to play and other responsibilities. So I would say for League, I need to be good at it to enjoy it unless I'm with other people.
Okay.
But Rocket League is a game that I can play solo, be terrible, and I always have fun. I don't know why, but Rocket League is just really fun to me. It's
His
fun to
mind
fly
will be-
around in your car. What?
Your mind will be changed if you play with Jonah.
I'm sure, but
Then don't play with him. Don't ruin it.
that's why I just play solo on Rocket League, and I have a blast. Like, I have a basic understanding of some of the more advanced moves, but I haven't mastered them. But I'm still like, on PC I'm only gold, and on Switch I'm like silver or bronze because Switch.
I'm not even ranked.
Yeah, well, you
So-
probably don't play ranked.
No, because I don't play the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a game by game basis. Like for Rocket League, I can have fun whether I'm sucking or I'm terrible or those are the same thing, or I'm good. But on League, I think I have to be good at the game to like it.
Unless with friends.
Unless with friends. Overwatch is 50-50 for me. Some days I'm like, I'll play some solo queue competitive, doing okay. But then other days I'm like, nope, not doing that because people are going to insta-lock Hanzo and not be good at him. But yeah, I think it's game by game for me.
Okay, yeah. Just real quick on the note of Overwatch, I solo queued for a placement match today. The first one, someone left early in the game, so
That's always fun.
So the match was canceled. It's like, okay, fine, just queue up for the next one. We were on defense for the first round. We did pretty well. We stopped and it's like, okay, we can win this. And then we get into the second round, and a member of our team leaves, and so and I can't leave, or else it'll really affect my score and be a problem. And so we're down 5-6, and we lose because of it. And it's like, okay, well, that was a big freaking waste of time. And if I was playing with friends, that probably wouldn't happen. I hope. Anyway,
No, I'm just gonna leave
Side
you.
note, you would just leave.
No, I think for me, and this is something I'm just kind of barely realizing, I have to be good at games if they're multiplayer to really enjoy them, unless I'm playing with friends. And there are a couple situations where that isn't true, but I would say
Like Smash?
for the majority of but I don't ever play them online.
He plays
okay.
with friends.
Gotcha.
Us.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the thing is like almost any online multiplayer game, I have to at least be decently skilled in it to have any kind of fun, unless I'm playing with friends and just messing around. Otherwise, I'm not gonna like that game. The single player games, you can't really judge if you're good or not. Like you can lose a bunch of times in like one kind of maybe a level, but that's just with you and the computer, so you can always feel okay by yourself.
That's true.
So I feel like it's easier to not be good at single player games and still have fun with them. But with multiplayer, at least for me, I pretty much have to be good at the game to like it, with very few exceptions. Here and there in between. Yeah, there are exceptions, but I'd say for the majority part, I need to at least be competent in the game. Not necessarily good, but competent to have any kind of fun.
Yeah, that's true. That's how it is for me in Heroes and Overwatch. Because like when I'm playing Heroes, if I start performing badly, then my team starts flaming me, and then I start losing the fun aspect of that.
And I remember when I told you that was going to happen eventually, because when the game first started, that never happened, and I was like, just wait. The bigger the fan base grows, the worse flaming will get, and it only gets worse from there.
Yeah.
One day it'll be League.
But I usually perform well enough where that doesn't happen. So that's why I enjoy Heroes, because I'm good enough where I still have fun usually. And then same with Overwatch. I mean, I was having fun in all those competitive placement matches until I actually got placed with a bunch of people who were better than me, and now I've lost every game, and it's just frustrating because I'm not as good as other people.
Yeah.
So
That's me with Rocket League.
I lost that fun aspect after I realized I'm like, oh, I'm actually really good at this game. I'm winning most of my placement matches, and then I get placed, and I'm not as good as I thought I was.
Exactly. As I have so much fun playing League of Legends, with you guys. I stopped playing by myself once I discovered I was much better at Heroes of the Storm. And so, yeah, it's like, okay, I'm good at Heroes. I'm not good at League. And so, naturally, I made that shift. And the last
You say
time...
naturally, but he still plays Rocket League, and he admits even that he's not that great at it.
I don't know, but, League is just a different animal.
Maybe.
Is it, though?
Yes.
Kind
Well, I
of.
feel like it's worse to lose in Rocket League because the matches are so quick. You could lose 30 times in the time you could lose one game in League, and that's way worse.
But the league matches take longer, so you feel like you've wasted more time.
That's and
There is that aspect, but I feel like losing 5 times in a row to match that 30 minutes to losing once.
I
would
can
be,
see that too.
Like if I were to play Jonah for as long as one League match, I would just never play the game again. Probably. I would never play it ever again. I made him immediately play a 2v2 where we were on the same team. So I was like, I'm done with just losing. And that was okay.
No, fun.
You carried me.
You
I
know,
just bullied people.
I thought just occurred to me, like, talking about this. There are so many people that play League of Legends, and there are a lot of people that are just terrible, but they keep playing it. And maybe it just comes to loyalty for certain games. Some people just really, really like League of Legends. It doesn't matter to them how bad they are. But I think naturally humans want to progress, right? So if we all lose at if we're solo queuing on our games that we play online and we keep losing, we feel like we're not progressing, so we don't want to play them. Unless we just really like that game. And maybe that's why Rocket League for me is always fun, because even if I lose a lot, I still enjoy the game because I just like the core gameplay of Rocket League. I think it's a brilliant idea, and I love the game. And there are some people that just like League for what it is. Like, they love the core gameplay of League. It doesn't matter to them how good they are.
Well, that used to be me. And like, I used to suck. I was bronze 5, and I was just stuck there and stuck in bronze and would move up a little bit. And I just heard one day, I was like, all right, I want to actually be good.
And maybe
and
that's
then I watched
why.
a bunch of videos and then took the time to actually learn like what I should build and when I should do it. And I'm still not great, but I learned how to get up, and I moved all the way to got to gold 5.
I mean,
bronze 5.
when you're playing with us, you seem like a genius. So don't count
Compared
yourself
to
short.
us.
Yeah, and so like that was fun for me to do, but I did because it was something I wanted to take the time in. That's why Rocket League is frustrated for me, because I'm never going to take the time. But I still want to play it because I think it's a great idea. And now that I know you can do a hockey rink version, that sounds fun to me. Now I want to play that.
Well, what you said about, these people who don't progress but they play, forever on a certain game, it reminds me when I see, someone I'm queued with on Overwatch where they have like six stars, so they're like level 600 or something,
And they're bronze.
and they're bronze, and it's like it's kind of like
It's dedication.
I'm just like, respect, man. Like, you are just still going hard at it. Every day.
Despite being terrible.
And maybe a lot of these people are more casual.
Yeah.
Like, we might have a little bit of a skewed perspective, considering that we focus a lot more on games. When I was a kid, it didn't matter to me. I also didn't play that many online games because that wasn't really a big idea.
I don't know.
Idea back
Smash
then.
battles got pretty intense when I was a kid, though.
Right, like, you still are competitive.
Yeah.
But it was never as important for me. And,
Yeah.
like, for me, it was just about having the fun. And now I actually want to, like, maybe it's the lack of time, or I don't know what the change is. Maybe it's because I'm more focused on video games as a whole. But I think as a kid, like, that stuff wouldn't have bothered me as much. I could have been the bronze 5 player forever having fun because I just enjoyed playing the game and didn't really care. And now I actually, like, want to make sure that my time is worth something and I want to win more.
Right.
So, like, always the competition was still there. Like, obviously, especially with friends. Especially when it was friends, you want to win.
Oh,
But
yeah.
overall, like, it was more about having the fun than winning for me back then.
Right.
To an extent. Like, obviously, still wanted to win.
I remember. So I've only been placed in League once. I played support for all of my placement matches, and I got placed bronze 2. And my brother, he's much better than me, played a lot more, is so much more knowledgeable, but he's still, he's still around bronze 4, bronze 3 usually. And when he heard that I was bronze 2, it was upsetting. And he told me later, like, he was actually upset by that because he knew that he put more time into it. So sometimes, I think that he kind of stopped playing a little bit. I mean,
His pride was hurt.
I assume, but despite that, he's still better than me. But it just goes to show that, being competitive how we are, if we aren't good at a game or it's not manifesting itself, that can be daunting. Especially if someone who is worse than him gets placed higher. That just sucks.
Yeah. No, that definitely sucks, and I can see that. Like, I forgot to mention this earlier, but I did play some Titanfall 2. Because I can always just pick that game up and have fun with it. And also, always good at it anyway. I was pretty much always number 1 on the teams I was in. And we won 2 games and lost. I did lose 1, but I was still the top.
Yeah, me too.
And Titanfall is just such a fun game to always pick up because it feels so fluid. And even if I wasn't the best, which I am.
Like, no one ever was?
Yeah, like no one ever was. I'm not the best, but on the teams I was. Even if there, I still have a lot of fun with that game. And maybe it does help that I'm really good at it, and I just enjoy like stringing all the things together. So I can say though, in a way, a well-rounded game that has a lot to it might be easier to be bad at and still have fun with. than a game where it's very specific things that you have to be good at. And the more advanced you get with those very specific things that you're good at, it's harder to enjoy it if you're not good. Like a fighting game. Like, it can be frustrating playing against someone who's actually good at the game because they know how to do the combos and the breakers and the blocking. And if you just like to have fun and just mess around like I always do in those games, know a few combos here and there, it's going to suck. But normally it's fine. But that's a game that would be daunting to play ever online. Any kind of fighting game. Or for me, Rocket League. It's such a core gameplay. There's not a lot to it. Except for with that core gameplay, there is a lot to it. There's not a lot of core gameplay around that, but there's a lot you can do with it. And so if you're playing against an advanced person that can do that, it can get really frustrating. I think that might be why, for me, it's a little bit frustrating sometimes playing that kind of game if you're not good.
I think there's also a distinction to be made between what you may call party games and, non-party games. For example, on Nintendo, like the Wii and the Switch, there's
no one's good at Mario Party.
Yeah, no one's ranked diamond at Mario Party.
I beg to differ.
I know, but it's
literally the worst person with all the worst strategies could win a Mario Party.
Yeah, and but everyone, it could be frustrating as heck, but everyone's going to have fun anyway.
They need to release a Mario Party for Switch.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll happen.
And what it reminds me of is certain card games that you play. A lot of it is down to luck, but you still play it, even though skill's not involved.
I would not say skill's
not involved. Like Uno.
Excuse me.
Uno though, if you're just even slightly competent, you have the right, you get dealt the right hand, you can win.
Just wait till you watch Uno the movie, and then you'll beg to differ that.
Uno the movie?
Yeah, 2 hour and 40-minute Let's Play of Uno because they made the worst rules ever.
Okay, well, I'm not talking about that. I think about back in the day, Wii bowling. I could play that with my grandma who had never played a video game in her life, but she would have fun. She wasn't good at it, but it was fun.
Yeah, party games do have that special place
and so
in old granny's hearts.
In old granny's
everyone's hearts.
Yeah,
that's why the Wii sold everywhere because it was just perfectly.
My parents, who don't like video games, bought the Wii for our family. Because
my parents, who don't like video games, didn't buy a Wii because they don't like video games.
Do they know you're doing a video game podcast?
No, they think it's a waste of time.
Well,
good thing you're an adult and you can make your own decisions.
Yeah, I can do whatever I want.
Once this gets big enough, I just want you to be like, hey, look at this.
No, it's not.
But Mom, we're millionaires. Stop bringing that.
Nope. I'm freezing your bank account.
I think it's more my dad than my mom.
That's fair.
But yeah.
Anyways,
I think that overall, I think to an extent for me, it does matter, but it does depend on what the category of the game is, and I think everyone would kind of concur.
Yeah.
And we each have those games that break the mold, possibly where it doesn't matter how bad you are, you still like it, or ones that doesn't like the opposite exactly. Like you could be good and maybe not like it still.
I actually can't think of any game like that for me where I'm just absolutely the worst.
Well, okay. Also, he's not saying he's the worst at Rocket League, but I would say less than competent. That might be mean.
I'd say average, maybe.
I don't know, but how
Okay. Do you enjoy playing coin battles?
No one enjoys that.
I enjoy that because I'm good at them.
He beat me twice, and now he's never holding it. He's never letting me live it down.
Then
the reason why
Ryan doesn't really like unless you're playing with friends, I assume.
No, he was playing
with him.
No, but I'm saying
and I almost wasn't his friend after that.
Because playing League, you still have fun playing League with us.
Mm-hmm.
And you already admit that you're not that great. You don't even know what to build. You just do whatever they
so.
recommend always.
Yeah, that's true.
You decent at the core gameplay, maybe, like actually landing your moves and doing that, but you know nothing about the items.
Oh, yeah.
I know nothing about the items.
It's so easy. You can just read it, too.
What if I can't read?
You buy a Hex Drinker if you're against a mage lane, and then you buy cloth armor if you're against a melee lane.
Yeah, all you have to do is look at what they're doing.
It's like you're speaking French.
You look at what they're building, and it says, attack.
On the toit.
Oh, they do attack
Hex
damage.
Drinker.
It doesn't make any. You said cloth against melee. That makes no sense.
It's cloth armor.
It's armor. It gives you armor.
So
it
what
reduces your physical damage.
Ryan, let me explain just how easy the base understanding.
This
of
is
items
cloth. This isn't going to do a lot to stop us.
Ryan's a video game. Stop taking it so seriously.
You see how the women dress? Morgana's not putting on cloth.
Any video game women are not dressed exactly great, and it's somehow still protected from bullets. So, my point is this is how easy a base, not even a base understanding of how building items works. I do magic damage. I should build things that give me magic damage. Oh, I need cooldown. No, or they give you ability power. If you do magic damage, you want to do ability power.
Oh, right, yeah.
Or the person against me is really messing me up. They do attack damage. I can see that by clicking tab and looking over at their items.
That's
they
such
have a lot of
pain,
attack
though.
damage.
How is it a pain?
That's so easy!
I don't want to look at
And then all you do is build, they're really messing me up. I'm going to build armor so that when they mess me up, it takes them longer.
Okay, Ryan, in Heroes of the Storm, okay, I mean, I'm with you on the... I never check what the other people are building. I should. It's just...
But now that you know that you can do that easily.
I mean, I knew I could do it. It's just in the midst of it, I just mentally, we're just not thinking about it.
Well, especially if you die, literally, when you're dead, you go back to where you buy, you click tab, nothing else to do.
Okay, you know when Ryan's dead, he's on his phone.
That's true.
You're right.
This turned into a league discussion
I don't know how
instead
this
of the main
happened.
topic discussion. But.
Okay, but what I was going to ask, and this may play into it, when you're playing Heroes of the Storm, a game that you are above average at, despite Blizzard bringing you down to silver, do you pay attention to what the opponents are building? What
their talents?
Yeah, their talents. Okay, well, that's too bad.
Do you?
I mean, not as often as I should.
That's too bad.
But I am aware of like,
You said that.
I am aware of like, okay, Artanis picked this ult instead of this ult. I know how
I mean,
this talent.
as far as the ults go, yeah. Like if they choose like one ult, like then I will be a little more careful as to what other or like with ETC.
So now you're speaking a different language.
With ETC, whenever I almost always go mosh on him, but if it's like with a group that, like if my teammates don't do a lot of burst damage, I'm not gonna go.
Look at that.
See,
he plays, he adapts.
Literally
All you have to do
knows.
is adapt.
You just gotta do that in league.
But that's my own teammates. I'm paying attention to my teammates. I don't look at what the other.
But
team's
no,
doing.
I mean, I remember one time I was Sylvanas,
you supposed to win if
and
you
I
don't
picked
look at
the
your
wrong
enemy?
ult, and you said, "Oh, that'll still work,"
That's right.
because the other team
He
is
just plays on his
grouping
phone.
up
He
in a
doesn't pay
certain way.
attention.
And so, I mean, I don't
That's
think it's
how.
That was me noticing the pattern of their
it's
gameplay,
not-
not their moves.
It's not as
Well,
demanding.
I mean,
It's not as demanding as League, yes, but it's still, you still are adapting by what the opponents are doing, and we just have to think about that when it comes to League, and then we can be good and we can enjoy it more, which ties back to this discussion.
it's true. But yeah, I would say overall, most of us have maybe some things that break the mold. Sounds like Ryan a little bit less, and maybe playing with friends is the easiest way to break the mold of not needing to be good at a game to still really have fun.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. And speaking of not having to be super good at a game to have fun, we're going to be releasing a Minecraft video and a speedrunners. Yes. And Tanner had fun.
Because I won.
But not in the first part.
No.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, the one that came out later. So, I mean,
Spoiling
spoiler
ahead of time.
alert. Just wait to see.
Maybe
win.
Tanner does improve. But he still had fun.
I gotta say,
regardless.
if I didn't ever win a full game there, that still was a lot of fun.
It's really fun.
It's a very.
But also we were playing with friends, so again that kind of helps break the mold.
Yep.
But I've also played that game by myself. They have a little campaign you can do. So
I mean, can you play online?
Yeah.
I feel like I'd enjoy that, even if they are beating me.
there you go.
I mean, I
There you
have to try it out, but
yeah. So some games, like we said, do break the mold. But let us know for you what games or what you think. Do you need to be good at a game to enjoy it? Also, please subscribe and share our video. And we're the Ottoman and
follow us on Twitter and
we're the Ottoman
Facebook.
and we're out. But that just sounds stupid.
The Oddman and we're out.
We're out of jokes.
I finished. I'm like partially sick. Thank you guys for joining us. Have a great week.
Bye.
See you next week.
Bye.